My name is Matt Hill. I'm originally from Sandusky, Ohio. My dad is a welder and my mom is a phlebotomist for Fireland Regional Medical Center up in Sandusky. I came to Ohio State in 2013 as a chemical engineer and eventually made my way into the history program when I kind of found myself there and really learned to grow as a college student, and now I work for the Columbus Metropolitan Library as a customer service specialist. Going into WOSU, I didn't really know what to expect. They gave me the general idea that they wanted to focus on Central Ohio during the First World War and sort of the role that Ohio State, Columbus, and Ohio in general sort of played in that war, being the first major conflict that the United States was really involved in since the turn of the century. A lot of the work I did was on the third floor of the main library downtown, just sort of looking at old documents, newspaper clippings, microfilm, things like that. Being there, I sort of fell in love with the library environment, but a lot of what I did was essentially building up the historical work and sort of presenting it to them so they could sort of write it into a script. With the Columbus neighborhood episode in particular, my focus was on Camp Sherman near Chillicothe and sort of demonstrating the role that played in essentially how it came so quickly. They built it in essentially 3 months, about 2,000 buildings, and by the end of the war, within a year, it was virtually gone. There's sort of one little plaque, and that's really all there is that remains of Camp Sherman. People are starting to sort of remember and take pride in the fact that Chillicothe played a role as very important in the First World War for Central Ohio. They knew Camp Sherman sort of existed, but they really didn't know a lot as far as historical fact goes. So going through sort of old books and even old Lantern newspapers, I went through some very old issues of the Lantern, based here at Ohio State, and seeing mentions of soldiers that were leaving, taking hiatus from school to go to Camp Sherman and enlist and go through their training to be sent over to Europe. We had no idea that articles like that existed, and I wasn't looking for them at the beginning, but when I found them, I kept digging and I found more and more and more. It just kind of grew from there. So going into it, we really didn't know what I would find. And it really was sort of finding these beginnings of a trail and following them until we came up with something that, really showed the fruit of our labor. That particular internship working with WOSU was something that really helped me grow, that confidence that you really need to succeed in the world. Seeing the process of what it means to make, something historical and, sort of this documentation of what happened 100 years ago and turn it into something that the public can consume and at its very basic form is really informative and just a genuine attempt at displaying history to the public. I just feel so lucky to have worked on that, and it's something I can always put on a resume and be proud of. It's an Emmy-winning program that I got to put a little chunk into, and it's always going to be there.